What is Elden Ring all about? I started this journey trying to answer that question, and for the longest time, I thought I had found the answer. But I was very wrong, because just recently, I completed the most challenging encounter I've ever come across in a video game. So this is Malenia, one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult bosses I've ever come across in gaming. This is a name that holds weight within the Elden Ring, FromSoft, Souls-like communities, but I'd wager that even if you've never played a game like this before, there's a decent chance you've heard the name Malenia, the Blade of Miquella, the goddess of rot. And there's a very good reason why. This is by far the hardest boss I've fought during this journey, a fight spanning hundreds and hundreds of deaths. But in this video, I'm going to show you how I did it as an unoptimized noob. Welcome back, everybody. This is me playing Elden Ring for the first time, my first ever Souls game. And get ready, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. Our journey to the Haligtree in Malenia begins here in the Consecrated Snowfield. Let me expedite this part of the adventure for you. I found Saint Trina's torch in this little procession hidden within the blizzard. On the east side of the frozen river was the great worm Theodorix, who hurt quite a bit. Yo, did they, what was it? But upon defeat of Theodorix and in a nearby cave, we went up against a misbegotten crusader who dropped a very interesting item. We just put an end to it. Put an end to the shenanigans. This is a great sword, another legendary armament, but this one molded after the Elden Ring to represent the Golden Order. But before Radagon modeled this for Team Gold, this sword was originally gifted to him by his first wife, Rennala. So in my mind, perhaps part of the reason Radagon left Rennala to become Marika's consort was for the purpose of furthering this Golden Order agenda. Now, in order to access the Haligtree, we must solve the little puzzle here in Ordina, the liturgical town. We're basically heading into this big-ass Everjail to light 4 beacons. The latest Stranger Things season just came out, so I find this kind of akin to entering the Upside Down. And what do we find in the Upside Down but some assassins to greet us? Whoa! Oh, that's why there's... Yeah, okay. We've dealt with these kinds before, but that was in more enclosed spaces. We lure them into an area with very little openings. And we do this! Aha! Out in the open like this, they're really annoying. He's coming. Right here! Right here! Right here! Right here! That's cheating! He cheated! But what might be even more annoying are these albinaric snipers on the rooftops that we need to parkour in order to light these beacons. Nevertheless, we powered through this puzzle, which unlocked a teleporter, bringing us to our target destination. Ah, so this is the tree here, huh? Okay. Now, the first part of this Haligtree is pretty fun. We're really just trying to maneuver around while avoiding the bubble beam attacks from these envoys. Whoa! But hidden amongst the branches are a plethora of interesting items. We'll be getting familiar with this envoy crown a bit later, but off in the distance here, you can see where the Haligtree really starts to open up, and I've always been a fan of environments like this. This reminds me of like the Ewoks, or more so elves, building up and around giant trees. I just love this kind of design. Whoa! And I suppose an area like this is the perfect example of one of my favorite things about Elden Ring, which is the level design, more so the verticality of it, which allows these areas to take up less square space, but still feel like a proper labyrinth to figure out. So yes, this area was awesome to explore, but here we come to a wide open space, which, whenever I see something like this in Elden Ring, it just signals to my mind to prepare for imminent attack. Oh, there's a big old boss thing over there. Loretta! Loretta's back! Come, Loretta! And here is Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree, a familiar name and visage. Except I suppose this is Loretta in the flesh. This is the real, the real Loretta. But if you recall, we faced off against a spirit version of Loretta back in Carrion Manor. Oh! I remember that. And Loretta was just a royal knight there. can't get me. Physics. And not a Knight of the Haligtree. But just like the boss from back then, her combat kit remains pretty much the same as far as I can tell. And believe it or not, I seem to be able to recall her fighting style and did pretty well here. That's right, this was a true first try, even though we always first try, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, first try! For real this time though. I was kind of remembering that fight. Like, I remember she was doing her blue powers and stuff, and she had the big arrow laser thing, and then the darts or whatever, the magic missiles. Further into the Haligtree, we find Milicent, and we get some further confirmation that she is somehow related to Malenia.
I am of Malenia's blood.
So that could kind of, I guess it's not fully confirmed, but it feels pretty confirmed. That's kind of the hunch that we got when we first met this lady. But Milicent has come here to return something to Malenia, and that something is her will. The will Malenia lost in order to take on Radon, whatever that might mean. And the deeper and lower we descend, the more this area opens up. The heck was that? He just exploded. And I'll say it again, I really like the aesthetic here. Watch this. Ah! Sloppy. This avatar was one of the first encounters we completed in this new area. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Fare thee well. But there was plenty more down here that could really hurt you. Ah! It's shifty. It's teleporting. It's teleporting. That was like an anime fight. Like these revenants. There was like a string of 5 of them on one of the lower levels. Take them! Take them, Kev! No! I think these creatures are quickly rising up my list of most dangerous enemies to encounter. Purple powers! Oh, he didn't die to the purple powers! But with a little bit of finesse, we reach the next checkpoint, kind of skipping over some things. So next session, we'll do a little bit of backtracking before seeing what's waiting for us up ahead. Aha! Salvation. We have found salvation. Today is a big day because today we meet Malenia for the first time in the flesh. But before that, here's a quick montage of some of the backtracking I said I was gonna do before pushing forward. I don't like being in this enclosed space. Oh, the rot's about to kick my ass. Yo! He countered me! Chill. No! Oh boy. Oh, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. We're gonna climb this before this thing can even see us. Oh, no! No! All right, now we go forward. Here are some nice Crystallian folks hanging around. That all happened so suddenly. I'm not gonna lie. Here's some rot that I tried to speed hop through. Oh! Oh! And here was just a nice little surprise that I definitely did not see coming at all. Clearly, we're just gonna jump down there and nothing bad is gonna happen. Nothing bad is gonna happen. We're just gonna jump down here. And then we go. Oh! Now this putrid tree spirit was a pain for a couple of reasons. Oh! One of them being, this is a big boss in a small area. The second reason, this small area is surrounded by gravity. Now! And the third reason is, well, refer to reasons 1 and 2. Dude! There's no way! I literally fell off the map like 6 times in a row. Box shots all day. Box shots. So in a way, it wasn't this boss that was the problem. It was gravity, claiming yet more of my lives. But that's what you get for living life on the edge, I suppose. Living life on the edge! So for my winning attempt, I decided to just eat the scarlet rot, and turns out it doesn't hurt too much and can be quite delicious. Let's go, first try, baby! And upon clearing this putrid tree spirit, we were met with an interesting prompt. Be summoned to assist Milicent. So here we are assisting Milicent against a group of sisters. I'm here, Milicent. You and me, baby. Who is that? Who the heck is Amy? No! How many sisters are there? Purple powers, I got you! But yeah, there's a decent amount of them. They're very agile and they hurt quite a bit. They're so fast. They're so agile. However, this was definitely not as much of a hassle as the aforementioned putrid tree spirit. If you distract, I can really bring down the pain. Yes. Purple powers, baby. Milicent did a great job of tanking, allowing me to rain big bonk from above. She even took some of them out, and combined with my purple powers, we were victorious. Boom! That was Maureen. I didn't see the other names. Milicent! Milicent's sisters defeated. These folk were indeed Milicent's sisters, brought once upon a time to the Haligtree by Gowry, the old dude in Caelid. And in hindsight, the last line here, those buds were doomed to never blossom, might be more telling when we consider what Milicent is about to do.
With your help, I was able to live as my own person. If only in passing.
Well, you're gonna be fine, right?
But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you.
Milicent removed the gold needle that we originally gave her to combat the rot, saying that instead of flowering into something other than herself, well, she would rather...
I would rather rot into nothingness as I am.
Whoa. And so, Milicent chooses her own fate.
Please, let me pass alone.
You know, before she said all that, I was gonna say, I think Milicent has become, I was literally about to say this before she was like, this is where things at. I think Milicent has become one of my favorite characters. How come everyone I love dies? Now, me as editing Kev has some thoughts about this, but Milicent used the word bloom, which is a very particular word to use when we think about Malenia and the rot. And I feel like some of Gowry's choice words in the past and his current dialogue now hints that perhaps Milicent was being manipulated into becoming a literal rot champion of sorts. Like she would literally bloom or flower into something of that nature, just like Malenia. And back where we left Milicent is the gold needle, but the description hints that there is no trace of contamination and instead it's moist with dew, something that I feel describes a healing sort of property in most games, including Elden Ring. And of course, there's the quote describing something to be returned to Malenia. And speaking of Malenia, we have finally made it to the confrontation that I've probably been most looking forward to during my time playing. And let me say right now, strap in and strap up, because this is gonna be a long and challenging endeavor. Now, I've been trying to think of the best way to present this encounter, because this was a multi-day effort spanning hundreds of deaths.
And I have never known defeat.
Clearly hasn't met me yet. Oh!
I am Malenia, Blade of Miquella.
Miquella is mine and mine alone. But for now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this fight as a whole, I present to you Day 1 of Malenia. Please enjoy this compilation of me getting my ass kicked by the goddess of rot. Oh, dude, we do fat.
I am Malenia.
I was gonna say, we do fat damage. Oh! Oh, put me down!
I am Malenia, Blade of Miquella.
Yo, that was a one shot. No!
I am Malenia.
I feel like we almost defeated her there. Yes! That's the stagger. Okay, she didn't stay staggered for very long. What the fuck was that? Are we in an anime? There's no way. I was about to hit you with my swords. That's a stagger. She don't stay staggered for long, huh? It's the anime move.
I am Malenia.
Okay, so she definitely, I just saw her health go up a little bit there. Okay, all right. Oh! Oh, that was sick. All right, is she doing the thing? Here we go, this way. Wait, I feel like what I did at the first one almost kind of did something. Like I didn't take the full brunt of the anime. Dude, imagine someone as serious as this squaring off, right? You got this music playing in the background. It's really epic. We're slow walking. And then you just look at me. Just look at this dude, just like dancing. It's like that one meme of like, was that like Bane or something? I don't know. Some badass looking character doing this. And then you got the dude in the pink suit. Oh! Wait, hold up. Yo, we didn't get destroyed by the first one that time. Oh boy. Yeah, I saw that one. That one was definitely, I foresaw my death in that one. Ooh, and a little flourish. Oh, we're alive! Okay, that wasn't the cleanest. I stopped running. Now she just has to never do that again, you know? Never again! Okay, wait, hold on, okay. If we just run our asses away, that first one for sure can't get us. Okay, we tried that. That knocked her on her ass. Okay. Oh! The range on that is kind of... Oh! I'm running my ass away. Wait, I see the vision. I see the vision. Hold on, I see the Malenia, chill. I see the vision. Give me a hot second. Let me just internalize what I just did, okay? Let me have this moment. I could get a cheeky hit like that in every now and then. You know, Radon. You fought against Radon before. Power of gravity. Something that I now wield. I have the PP powers. I have the PP powers, Malenia. It's over. Phase 2? No. And that's how we made it to phase 2 for the first time. Dude, I can't see what you're looking at. My head's too fat. This happened after 48 deaths.
Wait.
Oh shit. But who knew that this fight would take a turn for the worse? Oh shit, it's the thing. We saw the thing from earlier doing the thing. That's from the beginning. Just like cocoon flower shit.
The scarlet bloom flowers once more.
Yo, she's looking like a Final Fantasy boss right now. What the hell? Like, it's so pretty, but so deadly at the same time, you know?
You will witness true horror.
Okay, but what if we don't? Are you
Now, rot.
Excuse me. My bad. Maybe we can just talk about this. What is that? Now! Shit. That's gonna explode. Yeah, I knew that. That was gonna explode.
By the scarlet rot.
Okay, that was short-lived, but that was pretty cool. All right, now that we made it to phase 2, let's discuss some things. We'd still make plenty more attempts that night, but hopefully you were able to see some of the progress. For example, it took some tries to get out of the early part of the fight in order to see Waterfowl, aka her anime move as I like to call it. And a lot of the clips that you're seeing right now are the times I got jebaited into Waterfowl. But it was nice to actually make progress, slowly, kind of seeing a potential way to figure it out and surviving it a handful of times throughout the night. Okay. Wait, it kind of worked. Okay. Mistakes were made, but mistakes also led to success there. That was good. We did end up getting to phase 2 again, like 14 attempts later. Now! Okay, now we pop the flask. All right, I don't know what's happening. Can I go in here? No, I can't go in there. We definitely, okay, we're not going in there. Only to be met with Waterfowl once more. Oh, that's the thing again. She did that. She's doing the anime move right off rip. But that's progress, right? We just confirmed that she does that same attack in phase 2. And the rest of not just this night, but every session that we'd come back to face Malenia would be made up of small wins just like that, such as having a perfect waterfowl dodge. Oh! Oh! Clean! Clean anime dodge! Clean! Okay, not clean. But progress isn't necessarily linear. We're not making a PR every attempt. In fact, some attempts end in a matter of seconds due to the insane amount of damage that she can dish out. Okay. I got a little too overzealous there. I was like, I'm just gonna hit her once and maybe get a stagger in. But I think that's the beauty of this fight for me personally. This is the first true challenge that we faced in Elden Ring. At one point it was Crucible Knights, then the bald-wearing Hunter and Caelid, and then Mohg. But Malenia is on an entirely different level. This is the first fight that's made me think, damn, this is what Elden Ring or Dark Souls or Souls-like games are all about. And that's why I'll address this now, because I made it a point multiple times on stream to beat Malenia my own way. That means wearing my goofy ass armor, power stancing colossal weapons, using Radagon's talisman, not using items to bounce her out of waterfowl, and still bearing the burden of these Baldecan blessings. Because why now, when we have finally discovered true adversity in Elden Ring, would I ever seek to change that? If anything, this is the moment to put our hearts on the line and seek to overcome this challenge in our own way. That's the mindset we'd continue to carry on throughout the fight, to the chagrin of the few, but I know many of you can relate. And in day 2 of Malenia, we'll really try to focus down on certain mechanics in order to truly learn this fight. Welcome to day 2 of Malenia. For your reference, last session we died 78 times to the Blade of Miquella. Let's see. Do we remember anything from yesterday? Let's call this a warm-up round. That's already a new record, surpassing the bald-wearing Hunter and Mohg. And unlike the ball-busting Hunter and Mohg, both bosses who we defeated the second day of trying their fight, I don't feel like I'm that close at all to beating Malenia at this point in time. She was going a little ham there. She was going kind of quick. The reason being, there's a whole second phase out there that we only saw twice, and only for the first couple of mechanics each time. So the goal for today is to keep making progress and really try to learn this fight. Oh, is that the thing? Oh, that's the anime move. I wasn't ready for it so soon. So how do we know if we are on the right path? How do we know if we are improving and not just spinning our wheels? Well, today I'm looking for cleaner phase 1s, getting to phase 2 more often, and seeing more phase 2 as a whole. But we can break this down into smaller increments. Let's start with phase 1, waterfowl. While we're still trying to clean up this mechanic as a whole, we started differentiating between long range, medium range, and close range waterfowls. Because at close range, I tend to get completely obliterated. Okay, every time we've had like really good dodges is when I've ran like really far away from her. But maybe I gotta figure out a way to dodge it when I'm closer. Because if I'm caught anywhere from close range to like mid range, like I always get eaten up by that. It's only when I'm super far, so we started to try to bait out some close range attacks to come up with a strategy. Ah! Okay, I don't know. Maybe that worked? I don't know. Maybe it was close to working. Maybe I just gotta run around or something. And my strategy ended up being to kind of run around and try to bait her in one direction while rolling the other way. Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, wait! Oh, wait, hold on. Something almost worked there. Pretty much the same idea as when I'm trying to dodge a ranged attack or ballista shot or something like that, right? Can't hit me. Oh, it hit me. So we'd continue to keep putting ourselves in these situations. Wait, we kind of did it. We kind of did something there. Something kind of worked to deal with waterfowl close up. Ah, we go this way. And we go this way. And then okay. I feel like that, yeah, there's something you could do. Like you have to bait her one way and then like go the other way. And lo and behold, we found some success here and there. Okay, all right. That kind of worked. That kind of worked. And while I didn't necessarily come up with a tried and true repeatable process for myself, oh, I'm alive! I'm alive somehow! I don't know how that worked, but we lived. It did bring me great comfort knowing that under the right circumstances, there is a world where I can survive a close-ranged waterfowl. Oh, that worked. So we did something magical there, and yeah, I just 3 pots out of sheer bliss. Waterfowl from medium or long distance need some cleanup as well, but our survival rate is generally a lot higher than from up close. Okay, that one wasn't as... Ah! I'm on the wrong flask! But long range is definitely the easiest because you can just outrun the first attack and sometimes the second attack. Okay, all right, that wasn't the cleanest. I wasn't necessarily ready for that, but it kind of... I think for medium range, I discovered I need to roll twice out of that first attack, but those are the big differences. So that time I was like in medium range of her. That's what I've been trying to like practice, which we've done it a couple times. The timing of the second attack is interesting. I feel like there are instances where I roll it and never get touched, and instances where I get caught by the tail end of that attack. So I suppose I just need to be more precise there. Okay, that wasn't the cleanest one that we've done, but you know what? We lived, so that's good. And for her second attack, I do have this habit of rolling twice out of it, which usually puts me in danger for her third attack. Okay, something happened there. We almost did it. We almost did a thing there. And that's really what I try to remember for her third attack. I don't really need to do too much to avoid it, but oftentimes doing too much puts me in harm's way. What's up? And aside from waterfowl, I was really just trying to learn her everyday normal combinations. Okay, I just went. You know, I feel we've seen her combos quite a bit. I feel like I haven't actually like learned those combos though. Even starting with this basic ass 2-swing combo. Okay, so that's a really quick. That's a really quick one right there. Something that I notice hits me on the second swing most of the time must either be the timing or positioning of my rolls. So on that's something I noticed from yesterday. Those 2 long swings. If I roll the first one, I always get hit by the second one. But maybe that's a product of like where I'm rolling. And I feel like one of the things that makes Malenia challenging is her ability to channel into another combo right away. Whether that's another 2 swings or a whole 4-chain combination that leads into downward swings, uppercuts, or piercing dashes of sorts. Okay, so what I've been doing on that like 4-swing combo is I've been jumping the third attack to get my jump attack in. It didn't work quite well that time, but it kind of works for us sometimes. I like to call this attack her flourish. That little flourish right there gives me so much trouble, it would seem, huh? This is the one with 3 swings followed by an immediate or delayed swing, which of course she might combo into other stuff, like another flourish. She did the flourish a bunch of times. Those flourishes there, I ran away. I got scared. I just ran the hell away. But one of the things I'm trying to improve on here is rolling into that attack instead of away. Wait, that kind of worked! Because as with a lot of other fights in Elden Ring, rolling away from attacks can still often leave you in the danger zone. Yeah, that's that flourish. I gotta roll into that one. I got caught rolling back again. This was definitely a point of emphasis for practicing, and turns out we were onto something. That was the flourish. If I roll into that flourish over there, it seems to work. I've been trying, we've been talking about it, but I'm finally putting it into practice now. Though it's still difficult to break the habit of rolling away. I feel like it's just kind of natural survival instincts, you know? Like it's like when someone's like attacking you, like the natural instinct is like, let me roll away. Let me roll away, which usually just kind of keeps you like in the line of fire, right? But overall, I would say our phase 1s were getting a lot cleaner. It's starting to get cleaner, guys. Okay, wait. Okay, that part wasn't as clean, but you know. But that doesn't mean we can just take it easy during this phase. Oh! I got cocky! Wait, I got... Now we did reach phase 2 on our 15th attempt of the night. Mind you, we were intentionally putting ourselves in dangerous situations to really try to learn phase 1, but still, for me, this is a sign of progress, reaching phase 2 earlier than last session. And in this particular instance, we saw more of the phase 2 fight, including this heavy swing downwards that leads into a little explosion.
Okay, we technically saw more of phase 2 than the last time we were at phase 2, which is pretty nice, right?
Yeah, more progress. And wouldn't you know it, just 2 attempts later, we made it to phase 2 again, which was another stark reminder that waterfowl is a thing that can still happen. Oh, that's the thing again! Oh, okay, she's doing the anime move again over there. Okay, so that's why we gotta learn the anime move. Here we are 5 attempts later, another phase 2, and we have officially been to phase 2 more times today than the previous session.
Okay, so we're getting to phase 2 like pretty efficiently today, which is good. That means we've learned from yesterday a little bit.
Here's the 4th time that we made it to phase 2. This time we were pretty aggressive right after her drop and ended up getting a surprise stagger in.
Whoa! Yo, that's a fast stagger. We get greedy.
And this time we saw another one of her aerial drop downs, so that's something to account for along with waterfowl.
No!
And we witnessed the capacity of her aggressive tendencies. A drastic change of pace from her more docile phase 1 nature.
She's so fast. She's so fast on this one. She don't give you time there. It's so different from the first phase. And when she did that one jump thing, I thought she was doing the anime attack. I was prepared for a different attack. Not that it made a difference, but
the big takeaway here is some of my own aggressive tendencies or greediness, like charging into the rot after her tactical nuke move, something that will play a role as the fight continues. And while I didn't necessarily vocalize it in the moment, it seems like there are 3 to 4 different attacks where she jumps up in the air, leading to a waterfowl or other various attacks. Something to keep an eye on for the future. Here's our 6th phase 2 of the night. Again, just another showcase of how aggressive she can be. One of the struggles and things to learn is finding time to heal up. I suppose it's safer to create more distance here before doing so, or just really waiting for some actual downtime. As rare as it might seem, we'd end up reaching the 2nd phase 8 times this night, most of them ending with a waterfowl because, well, it was getting kinda late, and sometimes when I watch her jump up in the air, I kinda just stare at her, starstruck. We ended up reaching our 925th death of the entire playthrough. Tonight, we died to Malenia 123 times. For Malenia as a whole, it's been 203 deaths, a whopping 22% of our total playthrough deaths just on one fight across 2 gameplay sessions. But I would say we hit our goals, even if it felt slower than other fights we've come across. We did improve in phase 1, we made an effort to learn specific attacks, we made it to phase 2 way more often than the previous session, and because of that, we saw more of the phase 2 fight. Before ending the night, I did some exploration around the Haligtree and found this upgraded Dragon Crest Shield Talisman, which will hopefully help us in our next session.
Enormously boost physical damage negation.
Welcome to day 3 of Malenia, a big day because once again, I'm not quite confident that a clear is guaranteed. In fact, I'm a little anxious because today could go well and we end up defeating Malenia, or maybe things go poorly and we don't make any progress at all, proving some of you right, proving that I don't have what it takes to overcome this fight in my own way and that I have to play the right way if I want to progress. And it kind of felt like things were heading that direction due to our first 3 attempts ending in unspectacular fashion.
Okay, that was it. Yeah. That was a weird one. Oh, that's it?
Until our 4th attempt changed that narrative. For some background, today's session takes place 2 days after the previous, and in that time, I got a chance to review some of my recorded fight footage in preparation for this video. So on top of some of the specifics that we were trying to learn last session, this session, there were a few more things that I wanted to implement, all of which hopefully is exemplified in this attempt above. The first, in general, pertains to my aggressiveness or lack thereof sometimes. I noticed there are moments when Malenia likes to hop around, usually leaving her in a more docile state. The first opening is when she hops to her right, which would be my left. This is a smaller window of opportunity, especially compared to the second window, which is when she hops straight back away from me, regathering herself. I wanted to make it a point of emphasis to capitalize on these moments if possible. Thirdly, for waterfowl, I was more in the mindset to play it safe today, keeping my distance in an attempt to bait out a longer ranged waterfowl dance, since our survival rate is a lot higher with those. And fourthly, her little dashing piercing attack or grab. I noticed that I tend to roll this in every direction imaginable, often leaving me in a poor position to counterattack. I wanted to see if I could roll this one straight back, leaving me aligned for a juicy jump attack. And just like that, we made it to phase 2.
All right, that's progress. What is that, like 3 attempts in, 4 attempts? We made it to second phase. That's a PR for a stream setting here.
And thanks to some of these new things we've been keeping an eye on, we were actually able to get an early stagger in. However, since we haven't been to phase 2 super often or for very long, we're still very much learning on the fly here.
Okay. Wait.
This is her shadow clone attack. My natural instinct was to run the hell away, which ended up working pretty well. And after that, we were just trying to react and stay alive. Just like with waterfowl, I have a memo in the back of my mind to play it safe and try to create distance if I need to get a heal in. Luckily for me, this nuke that she does is very telling. But if you remember, this is where some of my aggression kicks in. I feel like part of my strategy is to capitalize on her downtime after this flower bomb, even if it means eating some of the rots.
We go in, we be aggressive.
And I think it was a decent trade. We still need to finish out this fight though. But yeah, that's the tough part about this one. You can't really afford to make too many mistakes, and in trying to get my heal in, I succumb to her flourish.
No! Yo, I think that's a PR, baby. Yo, that's a PR, son.
But just 4 attempts later, we would make it to phase 2 again. And just like before, we got a fairly early stagger.
Oh, that's a quick stagger. Yeah, so that jump that she does. Okay, I was gonna say, maybe I chill. I think this one I can just like run away, right?
So we fell victim to the triple or quadruple jumps in succession here, ending with the waterfowl. I didn't vocalize it, but in my mind, I'm taking note that her jumps can still combo into other attacks, including more jumps, so we'll just have to be extra careful. Because I have noticed that ground slam into an explosion is a great time to capitalize on her downtime.
Wait! She jumped so many times for that one.
I'm also thinking that I'm having a tough time deciphering between all her different jumps, as evident in the very next attempt where we got caught up again.
That was it. That was she jumped in the air and I was like, wait a minute, is that the waterfowl anime move?
3 attempts later, we're back in phase 2. This time, I'm pretty greedy, with it leading to my downfall.
Uh-oh. Okay, all right, we were playing really aggressive there. Probably could take that time to heal up a little bit. We're living life on the edge a little bit there.
From here on out, we're starting to pop rune arcs in an attempt to put an end to Malenia's terror, and we would shortly make it to our 5th phase 2 of the night. This one was a very long and drawn out fight, including surviving an early waterfowl dance from up close.
That's it. Oh, we live somehow. Oh, why am I doing that? I'm doing it. I guess we were doing that. That was a fat finger.
She would move into her shadow clone jutsu, and towards the end of the fight, another waterfowl dance that we survived, thank you Rune Arc, and another shadow clone jutsu.
We live somehow. Oh, she's doing this thing again.
But by this point in time, I was pretty tapped out. I was generous with my healing because I didn't expect the fight to last that long, so I had no resources to spare.
I was out of flasks.
The very next attempt was another long, drawn-out fight, and once again I found myself with no resources. However, she ended up doing her flower bomb, and you know me, my mindset was to end this ASAP, otherwise I would lose the war of attrition. Regardless, these are both good attempts. Long runs means we see more of her phase 2 and get to practice.
I was fishing for a stagger there, I'm not gonna lie.
And we'd end up making it to phase 2 a bunch of more times in a very quick succession, all attempts ending unsuccessfully. But we've made it to phase 2 now 10 times out of our 20 attempts tonight with some potential clears, so I was feeling really good about things. Until we got hard stuck in phase 1 for our next 5 attempts.
I've been trying to catch her when she jumps left. But if I do it too late, she's gonna get the swing in.
And I won't lie, I was thinking we might have hit our ceiling for the night.
I'm doing it again. Okay, redo. Hold on. Let's reset. We were doing so good when we before. Hold on, reset up. Reset. You see that flourish? We gotta go into the flourish.
I know as a streamer and a gamer that when I'm progressing difficult challenges in games like Elden Ring or endgame raiding in an MMO for example, there comes a point in the night where I kind of lose the focus, kind of lose the juice, you know?
Just keep it clean. Keep it clean. I dodged into. Okay, I rolled it into that one. My button just didn't press what I, as fast as I wanted to press it.
And that there's only so much more I can learn or do that session, because usually after a night of rest or a day or two off, I come back even stronger.
Blade of Miquella.
Maybe because my mind has had time to process and internalize what we had practiced by that point. So I was very much thinking of putting the sticks down and coming back to this another day.
Is this the juice for today?
But deep down, I really wanted to end things here and now. I wanted to clear this fight so badly, and it felt like we were on the cusp.
Okay, maybe we need a. Actually, you know what? No. I'm just gonna clear it. I'm just gonna go clear it right now. We just go clear it right now.
And so, in the very next attempt.
Damn, there's the waterfowl.
We didn't clear the fight, but we made it back to phase 2, so that was pretty great. But I think I'm just gonna let this next fight play out as is to give this encounter the respect it deserves and come back to do a retrospective. This is our 26th attempt of the night, and if my math is correct, our 230th Malenia attempt in total. Please enjoy.
I mean, we might not need the rune art, but it's been kind of nice to have, right? Okay, we are a little sloppy here. Been a little sloppy, but he's gonna dance. Yep. I tried to roll into that one. I pressed the button, but it didn't quite register, huh? That was close. I'm just gonna heal that. All right, she's gonna do the thing. We run. We just full heal that up and run. Well, that's a big boom. I'm gonna go for this. She can't get me. Oh, let's go! Woo!
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord.
Yo! Yo, that fight is so dope, dude. Yo! Yo, hold up. Yo! This is what Elden Ring was... Dude, this is what Elden Ring is. This is the definition of Elden Ring, and perhaps Souls games. I feel like I can finally answer the question now. It wasn't necessary... You know, we started this journey. Is Elden Ring one of the greatest games of all time? Who cares? Is Elden Ring fun? Yes. But what is like Elden Ring and these Dark Souls games, these Souls-like games really about? This is what it's about, dude. This is fucking sick. That fight was crazy. Well, there was a part of me that was like, okay, I feel like we're losing momentum and those, like, it's funny, right? Before that clear, and maybe the attempt before that, like we started off strong, and then we started getting steamrolled on phase 1. We were losing the sloppiness on phase 1, and a part of me was thinking, I was like, okay, maybe we just like come back to it later. Let's take a break. But then a part of me was like, no, fuck it, we're so close. Like we could just lock in. Everyone, what else can I say? But damn, this was just an amazing fight. My favorite and most challenging by far. Now, I did a quick retrospective on stream to let the folks know what was going through my mind during the fight, because I wasn't talking a lot. I'm known for my screaming and laughing and just overall goofing around, but if you watch the fight progression from beginning to end, day 1 to day 3, you can definitely see that we got more serious by the end. A little bit lucky that she didn't waterfowl this run, but we've been better at surviving them, so who knows how it would have turned out. To wrap things up, we got some Malenia lore here. We already knew they were siblings, Malenia and Miquella, both Empyrean, but this implies they were born from a single god. Not a demigod, but a god, and we've had some discussion before concerning the current order of demigods perhaps being willed by outside gods. We return the gold unalloyed needle in exchange for Miquella's needle, something that can be used to reverse our frenzied flame status. I get more into my thoughts about the lore surrounding this a couple of streams later, but in general, it seems like Miquella was perhaps looking for some way to cleanse his sister of this rot infestation, to bring the true Malenia back. We restored Malenia's Great Rune as well. This confirms that Malenia is daughter to Queen Marika and Radagon, which I guess maybe could imply that Queen Marika is a god? Question mark? Rhetorical question mark. And with the Haligtree pretty much wrapped, it's time to head back to Far Missoula. I've defeated Malenia! You can't defeat me! As the Slayer of Malenia, I'm afraid that this is what peak performance looks like. You don't hurt nearly as much as Malenia hurt. I keep missing. I'm the only Elden Ring player who could miss the largest targets on the map. Okay, I'm just gonna run. And this is how I felt after beating the bald-wearing hunter and Moog. Look, I'm sorry. You caught us post-Malenia. Ow. I'm afraid that's a tough act to follow. Because after our defeat of Malenia, it feels like nothing can really touch us. Man, there's so many dragons. Who would have thought with all the dragons flying around that we'd be fighting a bunch of dragons? I missed again. This is the person who beat Malenia, just remember that. This is the Malenia, this is the skill. This is the skill level. This is what it takes to defeat Malenia. I expect our journey through Far Missoula to continue to be a smooth ride. We'll just go for a little bit longer. You know, like I said, y'all. I am the champion who defeated Malenia. This is what peak performance looks like. The only person to have ever first tried Malenia, okay? It comes with the territory.
But that is something that will continue in the next portion of our journey, because Far Missoula seems like an awesome place to explore, and it definitely feels like we're getting closer to the end. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to all the channel members, Twitch subs, super chatters, and everyone watching the streams and the videos. I appreciate you being here and commenting, and I continue to say this, but it's been an amazing journey in and out of the game here, so I look forward to experiencing both their climaxes with you. So do come fight us live on this channel or on Twitch, link in the description. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, check out the highlight channel, do all of that because I said so, and I'm supposed to say that because apparently it works. We're getting to the end of the year here, so take care of yourselves because I look forward to seeing what 2026 brings. Everyone, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for giving me the honor of your most valuable resource of all, your time, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye.